Hey Mark,
Hey Theo, how you doing?
good, thank you, all good. What were like who are you? And yeah, tell me who you are and where you're from, basically.
So I am Mark, and I'm basically a financial trader, and I moved to Thailand about 15 years ago.
Yeah,
So I was in London working, and yeah, moved over here, and yeah, I've been enjoying the life in Thailand
yeah,
and
and
then trading.
nice. And you have your trading business that you do online?
I do, yeah. So I've got a trading business now where I look after, about 150 clients.
Yeah,
And we're just servicing them with investments and particularly FTSE trades, FTSE 100 trades,
yeah,
um, showing them how to make an income from that.
yeah, nice, nice. And what was your initial situation before we started working together?
Yeah, so I, I mean, basically, I mean, the health problems, they didn't just happen out of the blue. I'd gradually been getting symptoms for probably about 5 years, managing unexplained fatigue, get dizzy spells, sleeping not as good, just wasn't recovering from exercise as well as I should be.
Yeah,
So just really didn't really feel myself. And then I started to get really severe vertigo. So I was walking and I just permanently felt very, very dizzy.
yeah,
And that led on to unexplained anxiety over nothing. So, even flying or just walking alone or being alone, I was getting very anxious.
yeah,
Um, and then that led on to severe sleep disruption. So there were some nights where I literally couldn't get to sleep for the whole night. So I was literally awake all night fighting anxiety. Yeah, absolutely horrible. Really, really, really not nice.
yeah, yeah. And you've been suffering a lot with that, like over years, like and was getting worse, right?
Yeah, I think it just hit the tipping point, and had chronic problems. So I had to go back to the UK. And while I was in the UK, I got blood, you know, checked my blood, checked everything basically. Gut tests, genetic tests, everything really. And they didn't really, I mean, there were a couple of indicators off, like my homocysteine was high. But nothing really glaringly came back. Nothing was in the bloods in terms of toxins or viruses. They thought it was a virus, but they couldn't really pick anything out. The blood work was fine. So they were really going down this is functional practitioners. It wasn't just a normal doctor. They went down the genetic route. So they're saying, okay, so your COMT gene is not as good as it should be, and you're not you've got the MTFHR gene, so you're not methylating as well. So they basically treated me from a genetic point, and they just piled me with B complexes, even though my blood tests showed I was very high in B complex anyway. And I think I had about 25 supplements I
No.
was on, and to be honest, I got worse. The anxiety got worse, the sleep got worse. Um, and yeah, I just couldn't do any exercise.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really was not a nice place at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And what was your motive for seeking to work with me?
To be honest, I mean, I hadn't found an answer. I saw you I was just, going through Instagram one day, and I think you just popped up, and there was something which you talked about, and it just resonated with me. So I watched a few more of your videos. And again, I quite like I like your approach because you were going against the grain of conventional medicine. You were going against the grain with a lot of these health influences because I've gone down the whole rabbit hole with biohacking
Yeah.
and taking advice on health influences. I've done the fasting, which in hindsight was totally the wrong thing for me.
Yeah.
Um, and ice baths and things like that. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, so as I said, what you were talking about really resonated with me, and then we had the call, and you kind of highlighted what could be the issue,
Yeah.
and we started to go on the program.
Yeah. And what did you expect? Like, what was your goal before we started working together?
So I mean, at the beginning, I was, I just really wanted to nail down. I wanted to feel human again. Because at that time, when you're not sleeping, everything's bad. So I couldn't work. I couldn't focus properly. I couldn't exercise. Life was just not enjoyable.
Yeah,
So I really wanted to reclaim my health and my life back again.
yeah,
Because even though I was making money, if you don't have your health, you can't enjoy the money anyway.
yeah,
So.
yeah,
And that's why, yeah, I did the one-on-one program with you. I thought, look, instead of just doing a course and a group, I'd prefer to do the one-on-one with you because
yeah.
I know what I'm like. I have a question, and I quite like the ability just to be able to talk to you whenever I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that was really good. Like we were having lots of conversation also on WhatsApp, and I think that helped a lot. So that was pretty cool. And
Yeah, and it wasn't all one way. I mean, it wasn't like I recovered straight away. I mean,
no.
there were a lot of times I wanted to give up, and I questioned you as well. I was like, this can't, it's just not working, Theo. So I think an important message to anyone that's listening to this is that recovering, it's not like that. You go up, you maybe take 5 steps back, and then you're 6 steps forward, and then you're 3 steps back.
Yeah.
It's not a one-way journey, and it does take. I think if you're really young, I think maybe you can maybe do it in 2, 3 months, but I would say it's taken me a good 6 months to get
Yeah.
to where I'm feeling relatively normal again.
Yeah. So what did you achieve in the end through working with me? What got
Well,
better?
I mean, we had a whole list of symptoms, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the moment, I can now sleep. I do still wake up a couple of times during the night, but I'm getting a good 7 hours of sleep. Before, I was probably getting 1 hour of sleep. So, um, and my chronic fatigue is so much better now. I mean, I can exercise now. I'm starting to go to the gym. I swim every day. I don't have any anxiety anymore.
Yeah.
A little bit creeps in sometimes before sleeping,
Yeah.
just because the anxiety was really surrounded with the sleeping. And yeah, some other symptoms as well. They've are much better as well, almost disappeared. So yeah, very, very happy.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's really cool.
Mm.
And you can tell us also a little bit more about the ups and downs because what you just mentioned, like it took actually a couple of months for you to really get better. Like how was that for you? Because people sometimes think that it should get better immediately, but what would you say about that?
Yeah, I think you've got to be patient with it. You've got to give it time, and I think you've got to believe in what you're doing as well. Like everything you were talking to me about kind of made sense because
Yeah.
again, going back to you were doing everything quite opposite
Yeah.
to what everyone everyone in the mainstream media is now talking about this. They've all got their agenda and they're all trying to push supplements. But you were very much also focusing on natural, natural protocols. It wasn't just, pushing down supplements all the time. Little things like, waking up and not fasting in the morning,
Yeah.
wait and eating every couple of hours. These are all things that, I needed for sure.
Yeah. They make a big difference. And
Mhm.
how would you describe working with me?
Uh, Very pleasant, Theo. I mean, you basically, whenever I sent a message, you got back to me within 12 hours, usually actually just a couple of hours. And we had several phone calls when I needed you. Um, yeah, very good. Because as I said, I'd signed up to a functional practitioner in the UK,
Yeah.
and the problem is that you can't get hold of them. You're getting the secretary, so you're leaving you're leaving messages about, well, this I'm getting this symptom. Should I not be taking this? And I feel this is getting worse. And you know, what all I get is, well, you need to book an hour consultation. That's going to cost you £500.
Yeah.
So you're on a program, but you're left in the dark. Whereas with you, if I had an issue, I reached out to you and you came back to me straight away. So that in itself reduces anxiety, just having someone, helping you, guiding you along the journey. I think if you've got major health issues, to do it on your own or even to just do it in a groups can be a bit tricky.
Yeah.
I do think you do need that one-on-one help.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And what did surprise you the most?
Um, well, I mean, it's really just the progression of where I am now. I mean, I'm feeling human again. Kind of feeling back to where I was 5 years ago. So I've still got stuff to work on for sure. I'm still, not 100%, but I firmly believe that in another 6 months I'll be where I want to be, which was, way back when I was kind of, the Mark who I used to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Or even better than before, maybe.
Even better, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, the knowledge I've got now is fantastic. I mean, the medical medium knowledge it covers pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, for me, I'm definitely sticking to the whole morning protocol, and I would say it's not just a program just to do for 6 months to get yourself better. I mean, this is something that I'll be on for life.
Yeah.
Uh, because I don't want to go back to where I was. So it's kind of maintaining where you are.
Yeah.
Um, Other things I've learned as well, it's very well with a health influencer coming on Instagram and saying, well, I'm fasting for 24 hours and I'm eating five ribeye steaks a day and I'm going to the gym. That's fine if you're healthy. You can get away with that. But if you've got chronic illness, then, stay away from all that because you've got to do things very, very differently.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a big difference when you're healthy and when you have chronic illness. It's a very big difference. That's very true. And
Hmm.
why did you decide to work with me?
As I said, I found you randomly.
Yeah.
I saw a reel, and as I said, what you were talking about resonated with me.
Yeah.
And it seemed the right fit. And you seemed very approachable at the time as well, and you seemed honest. And you weren't jacked up with steroids and a six pack, flaunting your body on Instagram saying, "Hey, you need to have this supplement." So, that was quite refreshing as well.
Okay, I'm happy to hear that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Who would you recommend to work with me?
Anyone that really has chronic illness, unexplained symptoms, really just suffering, or has been to a functional practitioner or just a mainstream doctor, just really hasn't got any answers. I think that's who needs to go to you. Yeah,
No, no. Okay. That's amazing. So, whoever is listening that right now, if you need help with your chronic illness as well, there's a link in the description where you can book your free discovery call. If you tried a lot of things like Mark as well and you did not get better, so you can always book your call there, free discovery call with us, and then we look at your situation and figure out if and how I can help you. And I will also put the link in the description of Mark's company if you if you need help with your finances, if you need somebody that is helping you to, or what exactly what you help people to make more, to make wiser decisions basically in their finances and in their trading, right?
yeah. So I do a program on the FTSE, it's FTSE 100, which we kind of we generate an income from that from short-term trading, and then
Yeah,
I also do investments. There's a free Telegram channel that people can join,
yeah.
and they'll get exposed to what I'm doing as well, absolutely free, and they can follow what I'm doing.
Yeah, I will put everything in the description as well that people can check that out. And
Great,
I thank you so much, Mark, that you shared your healing story, and I'm
sure.
really happy that you're doing so well and that your life turned around, that you're on the right track right now. I'm extremely happy about it.
Yeah, no, great. So no, thank you so much, Theo. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.